how's it going? It's your boy, Master Dan, on the Master Cast. This is episode 4 of the Monoblog podcast with me, your host, Master Dan. And also, we've got a guest, the first ever guest of the Master Cast podcast. There we go. Yeah. Basically, I've brought Cam on to discuss our top 5 Star Wars video games. Now, for those who don't know, Cam Chappers, she is a Star Wars obsessive, as am I. We talk all things about the movies, about the video games, and like all the stuff that's been on Disney Plus, as well as like some of the events that she's attended. We've had a really good chat. It was really nice to catch up with Cam again for a while. It was great. We met on Twitch just at the start of like lockdown. Like we were both pretty much starting up Twitch around about the same time as one another, and we were both seeing like our channels grow as the years have gone on, and we've always really supported one another, like tuning into each other's streams and stuff like that, and bigging each other up. And it's just been great to like catch up with her again after. I mean, we still talk to each other every now and then, but it was good to like be on an actual, Discord meet, and like we had a good chat before and after the podcast, the recording and everything. But it was just really great to hang out with her. So yeah, big up CamChappers. Yeah, it was really great having a chat with her. Anyways, first things first, a couple of disclaimers regarding the actual podcast itself. Unfortunately, the audio of the podcast isn't great. Basically, it's my first time ever recording a podcast via Zoom. So what I've done is I try to make it a decent video as well for the YouTubes. I've done it through Streamlabs OBS, and what's happened is I've captured all the footage and everything and all the audio from Discord, and including my microphone, but unfortunately Cam's microphone is pretty quiet, got a lot more quiet compared to mine. So what I've had to do is export the video and edit the audio from the video. Basically, whenever Cam Chappers spoke, I had to cut that and raise the volume of it, which was a tedious task. Having to do that, it took me about a couple of hours, and unfortunately, because with her microphone being quiet, I also have a dodgy XLR cable which had a bit of a hum noise to it. So like whenever I had to raise Cam's microphone up, like it raised like the hum as well that was going on in the background, which is it really is annoying. So yeah, I've ordered a new XLR cable, so hopefully I don't have to put up with that again. I mean, to be fair, the hum kind of sounds like a lightsaber, so I guess it's sort of like an immersive experience if you listen to it on your AirPods. Nah, it isn't really. It's stupid. And every now and then you can hear my budgie squawking about. It's like, fuck. But to be fair, my budgie does really good R2-D2 noises sometimes. So, like, again, immerse yourself within the Star Wars podcast. But yeah, it's I'm quite gutted about it. Yeah, it'll be if I ever do a podcast with someone over Discord or whatever, or Zoom, like I know what to do this time. I 100% know what to do, and yeah, it won't be like that again. I can say that for sure. And yeah, anyways, without further ado, sorry about the technical difficulties. Sorry to Cam Chappers. I know this is like she put a time out to be part of the podcast, and to be in an episode where there's like some sound difficulties is a bit of a shit. So I'm sure she won't mind, but like sorry Cam. But at the same time, thanks Cam for being on and taking the time to discuss Star Wars and shit with us. So yeah, without further ado, even though I just said that earlier on, this is episode 4, Top 5 Star Wars video games, with me, Master Dan, and Cam Chappers. Here we go. Hello, welcome to the Master Cast, and I've got a guest with me. She's a Star Wars obsessive. I'm also a Star Wars obsessive. It's Cam Chappers. Cam Chappers, how are you doing? I know we just caught up earlier on, but how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries, no worries. We're obviously here to talk about Star Wars and all things video games as well. But we'll talk about the actual franchise itself. When was the first time you discovered Star Wars? Do you remember a time where you first watched any of the movies?
First real memory I kind of have is going to watch The Phantom Menace in cinemas.
Yes.
So I look, you watch it a few years later and it's not a great movie.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I have a degree of nostalgia to it because I remember going to the cinema to watch that. My mum took my sister and I, and it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with it afterwards.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of my in towards Star Wars and everything like that. So it has a little special place in my heart.
Yeah, definitely. I think, my sort of introduction to it, I suppose I was a bit too young at the time to fully understand it, but my parents had a VHS box set of A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. I was in this this cardboard box set thing. It had Darth Vader's face on it and everything. It looked wicked. And my mum and dad used to just put it on for me because I just used to like all the lightsabers and the lasers and everything. And yeah, I was only this was before Phantom Menace even came out, so I was only a wee lad. And we went to see Phantom Menace, I believe it was 1999. God, showing my age there. And back then, you were just saying there, seeing it in the cinemas and being like, oh my god, this is one of the greatest things I've ever seen. Got that on VHS, watched it to death, back then, thinking it was one of the best films ever. And yeah, like you say, you watch it in 2023 eyes, and you're a bit it's not really that good, is it? But
I don't mind the prequels. I don't mind. I think the third one is the best one out of them. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah,
it's just a bit
Yeah, I've always thought. Yeah, I've always thought the first one's it's a bit ropey, but I can appreciate it for nostalgia. I can't get away with Attack of the Clones, the second one. Could not get away with it. I think that might be the worst of the prequels for me. I don't know how you feel about the second one.
Probably just because of the emotional attachment I have to Phantom Menace.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not great.
Nah.
Apart from the third, Revenge of the Sith, which is pretty decent.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith's actually pretty decent. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one. But yeah, I think as well, when you look at the original trilogy, sort of as a 31-year-old person, I feel like they've just aged really, really well. I can watch them films over and over and over again and still absolutely love them. Once you watched Phantom Menace, did you then sort of go straight to the trilogy, or did it take a few years?
I think I must have done. I remember they were always on TV when I was a kid. I don't know if we really had the VHSs, but they were always on TV. And
yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I probably just ended up watching them with my parents. I remember always watching them on TV. I just can't remember.
Yeah, that's the thing. Stuff like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter will just randomly pop up on ITV on a Sunday evening or whatever, and they'll just be on.
Literally exactly that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't remember how old I was really. I think it's just kind of always been there. I might have even seen the original trilogy before I went to see Phantom Menace, but Phantom Menace in cinemas was the one thing that really. Yeah,
that because it's right in front of you, isn't it? And I think it might have been for some reason I remember it being the third movie I've ever seen, at the cinema. I know the first one.
The first.
Yeah.
I don't remember going to cinema before then.
Yeah, I know my very first one was A Bug's Life. That was my very first movie I saw at the cinema.
Great film.
Yeah, to be fair, unreal. And but the second one, the second movie I saw at the cinema, I can't for the life of me remember it. But for some reason, I just remember that one being the third one. I don't know why. I just do.
It's just such a good. It's like, yeah, as you're saying, like seeing that in front of you on the big screen.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, it just blows your mind, and just all the effects and all the lightsabers. And
Thinking Jar Jar Binks was the coolest character of all time back then. It's just now I watch it, I'm just like, fucking hell, he's quite annoying actually. It's just messing it up for everyone. He's just a massive distraction. But
it's a bit.
yeah, but yeah, what did you think of the sequels, 7, 8, and 9 that came out like recently?
I personally enjoyed. I really liked The Force Awakens. I went to see that like 2 or 3 times in cinemas.
All right. Yeah.
Last Jedi, I know it got a lot of bad rep, but I actually did quite enjoy that as well.
Yeah.
And the last one, I was disappointed with, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was a bit meh.
Yeah, I'm pretty word for word for you. To be honest, like. I loved Force Awakens, and I think I enjoyed The Last Jedi more when I saw it at the cinemas. Because I remember I was working away in Newcastle under Lyme, which is, you know, not the Newcastle North East, but it's like it's near Stoke, somewhere like that. And I remember I had like some time myself, and I went to like View Cinemas, and it's the one View Cinema I've went to that all the seats were VIP seats. They were all recliners, and I was the only person there. And it was in 3D, and like it was actually really good in 3D as well. I was really surprised. But I watched The Last Jedi by myself on a recliner chair like that. I remember it being really good. But yeah, Rise of Skywalker, I found it pretty underwhelming, to be honest. I was a bit disappointed by it as well.
Like, I enjoyed like anything Star Wars, in all honesty, but
yeah,
that one, yeah, you're like same as you, just quite like underwhelmed by it.
Yeah, for sure. But like one of my biggest surprises for me was Rogue One when that hit the cinema. Like, that is incredible. Like,
maybe I don't care what anyone says. That's my absolute favorite. I love it.
Yeah,
I watch it time and time again and not get bored. And
yeah, I'm due a rewatch for that. To be fair, like it's so good. Like I just remember going to see it at the cinema with my friend, and I thought, it's just gonna be like a side story thing. It'll probably be quite cool to watch. And then just finishing it, I was just like, oh my god, that was incredible. And like, especially with like Princess Leia at the end, and she does that. We do have one thing, hope, and I had like shivers down my spine and everything. And then
it's a Darth Vader thing.
Yeah.
Where he, turns the light. You just hear his breathing, and he turns the lightsaber on, and he just goes crazy. And I was just like,
yeah,
it's insane.
I
really loved it to that point, but then that was just like, alright, I'm done. This can't get any better.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, for sure. But the current Disney series as well. I've only watched Mandalorian series 1 to 2. I haven't watched the new season yet.
It is good. I don't think it's as good as previous series, but
yeah, yeah. I don't even know why I haven't watched any more yet, because I enjoyed Book of Boba Fett. I really enjoyed that. I love Mandalorian season 1 to 2. For some reason, I haven't pulled my finger out and watched the rest of it. Nor have I watched Obi-Wan yet. Nor have I watched the what's the other one that's out at the moment? Yeah, that one. I haven't watched that either. So
Andor is, I think, on part of the Mandalorian. It's so good.
Really interesting.
I love the Mandalorian. Like,
yeah,
I love it. But Andor is just a really, really good show. Like, it's really interesting going into I think I probably like it more as well because it's Rogue One related. Like,
Yeah.
it's a prequel, so to speak, to Rogue One. Like, well, to Andor's
Right.
character.
Yeah. I need to pull my finger out and watch them all. I'm watching Vikings at the moment with my girlfriend, and she's not really a Star Wars person, so she's not watched a single one. And I'm like, why won't you sit down and watch one with me? She's like, don't know. It looks rubbish. Like, fucking hell. I know, exactly. Yeah. She'll be listening to this podcast anyways. She'll be like, what are you slagging me off on your podcast for? She doesn't sound like that either, I promise you. Sorry, Haley. But yeah, honestly, I do need to get into that.
Yeah, they're all really good.
Yeah.
Book of Boba Fett, it's a strange one. I enjoyed it, but I didn't at the same time. Like,
Right. Okay.
you know the bit where when Mando comes in, like.
Yeah.
After that, I thought it got a lot better, but before that, I was just a bit like.
Yeah, it took its time to pick up a bit. I remember that. But yeah, by the end of it, I thought, yeah, it was really good. I thought, but
yeah, it ended well. The first half of it, I was a bit like, this is a bit boring. But yeah, got better.
Oh well. Yeah, I'll get watching them before there's a new one coming out, isn't there? It's yeah. I'll see if I can get them all down and watch before that comes out, and I'll let you know my thoughts, definitely. But we're here to talk about the actual games. Have you got any? How many of them have you played? Do you know at all? Or have you played quite a lot of Star Wars games, or is it quite a few?
Talking about this the other day, and I was like, I'm trying to pick out like my top 5.
Yeah.
And I think, thinking back now, I probably played 7 or 8 of them.
Yeah.
I reckon, roughly. I didn't really play any of like the really old like PlayStation 1 and 2 games.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just didn't.
No, right. Fair enough. Yeah.
The newer games, I've
Yeah.
done quite a lot.
Yeah. I suppose like the later releases have been more sort of, they're not really being about the movies, whereas like the sort of early, like, you know, like you had like Phantom Menace and like Attack the Clones and Revenge of the Sith and all that sort of stuff, like actual games, and as the old SNES ones, which are like of there's SNES titles of like A New Hope and what else was there? There was Return of the Jedi, that was an SNES one, whereas like the newer ones are either like multiplayer based or like their own like sort of side story, that type of thing. But yeah, I was looking on, I think it was IMDb. There's over 90 Star Wars games. I think that might be including like, you know, dumb stuff like the Lego Star Wars and like Monopoly Star Wars and all that sort of shit, and like, you know, various board games. But I'm sure I've seen something on like, because I was looking like on my list like in case I forgot any, and like I was like, Jesus Christ, there's more of these than there is actual like series or like movies combined. There's more games out there than Star Wars. I know, yeah. I was like going down the list and like it was all numbered, and I think the last one was like 97, because they had 2 in there that weren't released yet. Like the one that's coming out, I think it's next year, or is it later this year? I can't remember.
Oh yeah, next year. Yeah, that's gonna be good.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. But yeah, disclaimer: this is our own top 5 as well for anyone listening. So if some people feel like they'll disagree with any of my choices, which they probably will, to be fair, because I've got some bold ones in here. But yeah, like I think people, when people hear my number 1, they're going to be like, come on. But like yeah, okay. But is there any that just missed out on your top 5 that you'd give a shout out to?
Really, to be honest, the one I thought about, which I kind of actually forgotten about, was the Star Wars Squadron game.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played that.
It's alright. Like, it's not the best. I think they kind of, I don't know. I was disappointed with it because I'm a massive fan of, like, you know, the X-wings and, you know, being able to fly and be pilots and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't find it that enjoyable. I tried, and then I ended up just stopped playing it after like a little while.
Right.
I just didn't find it that.
Right.
Anymore. It was a bit samey. I think that was probably the issue with it. It was like you're doing the same thing, like, which I get. Like, obviously, it's to do with squadrons. You literally are just going to be flying.
Yeah.
After some sort of.
Right.
I think the multiplayer was good fun. I vaguely remember the multiplayer being good fun, but
yeah,
for the main campaign and everything else, it was just all a bit samey and yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
A bit disappointed.
Right. Yeah, I've not played that one. In terms of like my list, that's just sort of missed out. I did play. I think I briefly played like Revenge of the Sith on the PS2, or like I remember that one being quite decent. I was actually watching our friend Spike streaming it. I think you were in the chat as well, actually. And I was watching them. I think it was the day I messaged you about like doing like this podcast, and then I thought, oh, how apt is this? And I was watching that. I was like, oh, I remember this. And Superstar was from the SNES. That's just missed out as well, being in the top 5. And yeah, I reckon I have played like a Star Wars Monopoly at some point. I've like, when I was looking at the list, I was like, actually, that does sound familiar. I think I might have actually played that. Yeah, but let's get into the top 5. Do you want to go first, or shall I go first?
You could go first.
You want me to go first? Okay, right. So my number 5 is Battlefront 2, but specifically the PSP title that came out in the mid-noughties. Yeah. So I know, yeah. So it's weird because when I had it on PSP, it was online multiplayer as well. And I spent a lot of time, like, you know, before going to school or anything like that, just like, yeah, time for bed, okay, night, under the covers PSP out, and I'd be playing Battlefront 2 for absolutely ages online. And it was absolutely wicked. Like back then, like on the PSP, like it properly pushed itself in terms of like graphics and everything. And obviously, you couldn't really speak to people like on the multiplayer. You couldn't do that on the PSP. I don't think of any other games, but it was just really cool to just like go into like a death match or like a capture the flag, that sort of thing, and just battle it out. I absolutely loved it back in the day. But I think I played like the more recent Battlefronts, like I think the last one that came out isn't there like another Battlefront 2 that's come out? Like
that came out, I think it was 2017 or something.
Yeah. I remember playing it, and I was just like, I think I got overshadowed because I played the PSP one and I was really good at it, and then like when I played the most recent one, it was all EA and you had to spend money on characters and shit like that, and I was getting slaughtered. I think I played it once and I was like, stop this game. So I just went, I'll just go back to the PSP one, like the real loser I am. But yeah, I don't suppose you had PSP or Battlefront 2 on it, did you?
PSP?
Yeah.
I remember having the PSP. I loved it.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I had on it now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a FIFA game or something like that on a racing game.
Yeah, I had a FIFA on it. I think I've got the UMD drive somewhere, and it's like it's like
it plays weird disc, doesn't it? Like you go only a PSP.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like a cartridge now that you get for the Switch.
Yeah, well, when they moved to the PS Vita, like they went from UMD to cartridges for the Vita, which was such a weird move. But I think it was because like the PSP, like you had a lot of problems with like the like closing like the disc tray and stuff like that. Sometimes the layers would get jammed, so I think that's why they went to cartridges. Yeah, but that was that.
My mind broke, to be honest.
Yeah, well, mine's kind of broke as well. Like I refitted a shell on it a couple of years ago, and like it looked great, but like the shell I got was just like a really cheap plasticky one, and like it started breaking all over. But yeah, PSP was wild. Like going to like a game station, like there'll be like the UMD bit, and you could watch movies on it. Like,
I remember that.
yeah, because I remember I asked my mum to get me a PSP. Like, I think I had like some birthday money, and like I went to school and I said to my mum, "Oh, can you get me a PSP, please, while you're in town?" She's like, "Oh yeah, okay, no worries." And she came back, and I got it was like a deal where you get PSP and a game and a movie, and the game was like the first game I got was Lemmings, and the UMD movie was Van Helsing with what's his name, and goddamn, what's he called? Who plays Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
That's the one. Yeah, Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. Oh, that was great.
I just remembered now you said about the movies. I had Chicken Run as a youth.
Oh my god.
I just remembered that. I really remember having like the small box and everything. And
Oh my god.
Chicken Run's a great movie.
It is actually, to be fair. Chicken Run rules. To be fair, I haven't watched it in years.
It's just an iconic movie.
Yeah,
I really remember it.
I know we're going a bit off topic, obviously, but like, have you ever played the Chicken Run game on the PS1?
Don't think I have. Don't think so.
I had it on demo disc when it came with one of the PlayStation magazines, and honestly, it was so frustrating. It is such a frustrating game. It's like The Great Escape, but you're a chicken. It's unbelievable. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, we got a bit off topic there. What's your number 5 then, Cam?
So my number 5 is actually a game that I played really recently.
Yeah.
And I actually enjoyed it quite a lot, and it's Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. So again, going back to the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
And the nostalgia of that. So I know you've been to one recently. There's these games bars called NQ64. They're like a chain.
Yes.
And I went into one in London. Greatest bars in the world, by the way. If anyone watching or listening hasn't been, highly recommend. So much fun.
Yeah.
And they have all these like old consoles. And they're usually quite busy, but if you're lucky enough, you might get Eternal. I went on the GameCube and they had it. They had this game on, and I was just like, oh yeah, let's play a couple games. And you can play multiplayer, and it's just pod racing from the film. So you're literally just racing in a pod racer around these tracks, and it's just a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
I didn't know that was on the GameCube, to be fair. I didn't even know. Like, because like the NQ64 I went to in Edinburgh, like they had a GameCube set up. And like if you press like certain buttons, it'll reset it, and you can like pick like loads of ROMs, like an emulator, and but I can't remember seeing it on there. I think I just went straight on Tony Hawk's, to be fair. But there was like but there was like a Star Wars like shoot 'em up type game, like as an actual arcade game in NQ64, which I sucked at that. I was really, really bad.
Yeah, that's my number 5, just because it was good fun. It brought out a lot of nostalgia, and it reminded me also of when I was a kid. I had this like handheld like gaming thing. It wasn't like a Game Boy or anything.
Oh right.
I hard to explain it, but it's a game, and it's like shaped like Anakin's pod racer, and you're basically just like.
Oh, nice.
And it goes side to side, and I think there's only maybe 1 or 2 buttons on the other side.
Yeah. Oh, class.
Reminded me of that in a weird way, because that's another thing I really remember from going to see the Phantom Menace. Is I got that like afterwards and loved it.
Yeah.
Played it to absolute death, and yeah.
Oh,
So
sick.
that's my number 5.
Number 5, nice one. My number 4. Let me just get my notes up because I've got a shit memory. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Here's my number 4. It's Star Wars Rogue Leader, which is Rogue Squadron 2 for the GameCube. And it's weird, this one, because like when I got a GameCube, I started watching like videos on YouTube. Have you ever watched Metal Jesus Rocks on YouTube?
I have, no.
Yeah. Oh, he's really cool. He's basically like a metalhead, like really long hair, and he just like collects video games and all. He does all these like weekly videos and stuff. And he did like this video on like GameCube games to get, and he mentioned this one. And I found it in CEX for £8, which is quite cheap for a GameCube game, because GameCube games are extortionate now for some reason. Like everyone's collecting GameCube games and like they go on for a shit ton of money. But like this is actually one of the cheaper options on the GameCube, and it rules. I think it's more in line with what Squadrons is, like what you mentioned earlier on. But like this is like you were saying, you fly like the X-wings and stuff, and straight away your first mission is going into the Death Star to blow it up, like straight away.
Right.
yeah, honestly, like and like it's a game from like I believe it's 2001. It came out, like, you know, 12 years old, like, and the graphics like still really hold up, like really well. Like I thought I'd get it and like play like a couple of minutes of it, like, but I ended up being on it for hours. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. And like you fly like the X-wings, and like each level you can choose different ships that you want to you know, fly around in. And like one of the other missions is like, you know, I can't remember which one it is. I believe it might be Empire Strikes Back, where they're they're in the snowy bit, and like there's the big massive walkers. Yeah, and then like you have to like tie the cable around the legs to stop the vendor fall to the ground. It's like, oh no, up. Oh, lasers can't get through them, and then all of a sudden it goes on the floor. Okay, blast them, and then it explodes. but yeah, it's really cool because it's set like within like that original like trilogy of Star Wars, and like the graphics are really good, and you've got R2-D2 doing his noises while you're shooting and stuff like that, in the X-wing, and you're shooting the TIE fighters a lot. It's brilliant. It's really good. So highly recommend that one. If I know it's GameCube only, so you only got to be able to play it like if you've still got a GameCube or you've got like an emulator of some sort. But it's really good. It's really good. Yeah. Highly recommend it. What's your number 4 then?
Number 4 is Battlefront, but the 2015 edition. So the
nice.
So I didn't play the originals.
Yeah.
As I said earlier, I don't know why, but I never really played like the older games, like on the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2, etc. So this is like my first taste of that series, and I loved it. It's just a lot of fun, and it was only multiplayer. It didn't have like an offline like story mode or anything like that. It was just multiplayer. So it was just good fun, and you know, being Star Wars, I was gonna enjoy it, and yeah, I ended up playing it a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. It was
nice.
Good fun. I recommend it.
Yeah, cool. I mean, to be fair, like I've had the opportunity to play it and stuff, but I think because I didn't really have any mates who were playing it at the time. Like, I think everyone was just more bothered about like Call of Duty or whatever. Like when it comes to like online multiplayer, or like people are more bothered about like Call of Duty or like Fortnite and stuff like that. So when I go, does anybody want to play Star Wars? Like, no, I'm playing this. It's like, yeah, I think that's why I think that's why I never really got into it. I think to be fair, I'm more of like a campaign sort of story gamer, anyways. So like when it comes to like online multiplayer, like it's only, I mean, apart from when I mentioned like the PSP version of Star Wars earlier, but like when it comes to online games, I don't really go into it that often. I think that might be why more or less I sort of fell out with Battlefront 2 when that came out, and like obviously I've not even played the first one. I've actually got it installed on my Xbox One downstairs, but I've not actually played it yet.
I wonder if you can still get lobbies on it.
Yeah,
that'd be interesting to see, because it's been out for over nearing 10 years.
Jesus.
8 years.
Every time I hear about a game or an album coming out, like an album or something like that, and it's like coming up to 10 years, I'm like, oh no, I don't like it.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting ridiculous. but hey ho, this is where we're at in our 30s. But yeah, so Battlefront you got there. Right, where are we at? We're at number 3. My number 3, and I haven't even finished this one yet. I'm still a few I'm only a few planets in, but it's Jedi Fallen Order, and yeah, it is very, very good. It's like I can see why people like really, really buzzed about it, because I think it's been a while since like I've seen like a lot of people like who talk about games like go on about like a Star Wars game, because like a Star Wars games like sort of came out along the line. I think a lot of people buzzed about like Battlefront when that came out, but like all the other stuff around it, like you know, like Force Unleashed and stuff like that, or some of the other Jedi games that came out on the Switch, and like, but I think everyone was like, no, this is like a bloody good one, like its own story and everything. So I thought, well, I'll give that a go. And like one of my best mates lent me it, and that I'm really, really into it, and I really need to finish it. The thing is, like it's a PS4 game, and I've literally got a like not long after lending the game off him, like I got my PS5, so I'm hoping I can continue the story like where I've left off on my PS5. I don't know whether I can.
Sure, no.
I'm not sure. I think I might need to upload like the save data on like the PlayStation Cloud or something, and like maybe put it on the PS5. I don't know.
Yeah, if you have save data, it might work.
Yeah, I think I can. Oh, actually, no, you can do that because I did that on Elden Ring when I got that. All my 105 hours of Elden Ring, I managed to transfer over to my PS5. So I was like, thank fuck for that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but yeah, I need to finish that game big time. Like, I reckon if I finished it, it might be up higher in my list. To be fair, like, but I couldn't not put it in because I'm absolutely loving it. I can't remember the current planet I'm on. It's sort of like a red, sort of weedy looking planet. I'm not sure.
For ages, I'm trying to.
Yeah, I've not been on it in a while. Like, I need to watch all the series, and I need to start playing that game, and Survivor as well. I've not even played that yet. Yeah, I know, but yeah, that's my number 3. Like, Fallen Order. It's absolutely brilliant. I love it. But yeah, what's your number 3, mate?
So, as you just mentioned, Jedi Survivor.
Okay.
Nice segue into.
There you go. Okay, tell me about Survivor then, because I have not played it.
It is really good. It is really, really good. I don't think it's as good as Fallen Order.
Okay.
I can't quite put my finger on why. I'm not quite sure. But visually, it's stunning. It's a great game. I like that, as you touched upon a little bit earlier. It's literally like it's set in the Star Wars universe, but it does have kind of original characters. There are a few odd characters.
Yeah.
You'll be familiar with if you're a Star Wars fan already. But
yeah.
I just really enjoy the story and the characters, and yeah. I think one of the things was there's a few tech issues when it got released.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Yeah, did you get them like when you first started?
It was a bit framey at times. I found like just moving around would be a bit slow to catch up, and it'd be fine. But I did have like literally like 5 minutes into my first ever playthrough, and it crashed my PS5. And I was like,
oh, god damn.
Good start.
Flipping neck.
It was okay after that, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's a really good game.
Yeah, that's the thing for me now. Like, I feel like buying new games these days is just more of a risk, because you be spending £60-70 on a new game, and it'll run like shit, and you're just like, what have I just spent my money on? It's like, like everything that's happened with Cyberpunk. I think it's just yeah. I mean, I've not touched that game purely for that reason, and I think I was initially going to get Survivor like on release. I was going to go to game or whatever after work and pick it up, but like when I started hearing about all the tech issues and stuff like that, like I just thought I'm just going to wait until this is fixed. And like
I think it was far on PlayStation. It wasn't too bad, but
all right, okay.
On the platforms, it was far worse, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it's a shame because it was like so hyped after the success of Fallen Order, and it got delayed before because they needed more time. That's the thing with Cyberpunk. It's like companies now will delay games.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think they're just going to be like, we'll wait to see what people say and we'll sort it out type thing. Where I think there needs to be a bit more quality assurance before like I'd rather people delay a game and have it perfect. And
whenever a game is delayed, even if I'm annoyed by it or a bit sad, I'm like, well, if it means the game's going to be in a better state when it's released, then fine.
Yeah,
that's fine for me.
Yeah. Yeah, neither do I, to be fair. I mean, they had to do that with Tears of the Kingdom, if I remember rightly. Because I think they said it was meant to be out the back... I think they aimed to have it for the back end of 2022. And I think it was coming up to ours and I said, look, it's not finished yet. You've got to get it in spring 23. And then what came out of that was just, for me, perfection. I absolutely adore it. It's incredible, and I'm glad they delayed it and get everything all polished up and everything. But yeah, it's annoying when you get a new game and it's buggy and it's framey and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, nice ones.
That might be why it's not as high on this list for me.
Yeah.
Well, about it.
Yeah. Would you say it's sort of does it do anything new outside of Fallen Order? Would you say?
It might be a bit more open worlds.
Right.
A bit more without giving too much away.
Okay.
But it is essentially the same. It's the story's different, but you are basically doing this very similar, combat style and everything like that. Maybe a few things added in.
Okay.
It's a good story, but yeah, I won't go into too much for spoilers, but...
Right. Okay. Yep, I need to finish Fallen Order, then I need to buy that, for sure. I've then played the other 90 Star Wars video games and Monopolies, and no, I'm not going to do that. I haven't got time for that. I definitely haven't. Right. Oh, God. Imagine if I did a stream marathon of that instead of the Metal Gear one. I'd probably be 90 years old by the time I've done that. But yeah, I'm not doing any more marathons again. Not doing it.
No.
But right, anyways, number 2 on my list is I've not played it in ages, but I remember it very, very well to this day. Because I used to play it a lot, and it's Knights of the Old Republic on the original Xbox. I absolutely loved it. It was one of them. It's I don't know if Star Wars went open world before Knights of the Old Republic, but that was probably my introduction to that. It was also its own thing as well. Didn't take much off the movies, and you could customize your character. You could I'm sure you could play online with it as well. I think you could, but I'm trying to remember the story. I can't remember that much of it, but I just spent most of my time just leveling up and that sort of thing, and building up my I don't know, my levels and stuff. I just remember it being really, really great. I have been meaning to replay it again because it's on Steam for £2.50 at the moment, so I bought it off there. And but yeah, last time I played it was it might even be 20 years ago. It was for the original Xbox. I did play it on there, and I think when it came out, I think it was Xbox exclusive as well, if I remember rightly. But it's a stunning game as well, even for that time. The graphics were brilliant and everything, and just like I say, building up your own character and everything, changing the color of your lightsaber and that sort of thing. But getting different sort of crystals in it. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant, and I need to get back on that and just revisit it for all time's sakes. Have you ever played it before?
Yeah, not a huge amount.
Yeah.
I think it was not long after I started streaming. I think I tried playing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't stick with it. I don't know why. I think I found it a little bit difficult to get into. But I think if I went back to it now and stuck with it, I would probably get really into it because I'm always hearing, rave reviews about it.
Yeah.
So maybe one day I'll go back to it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Well, yeah, it's it's a brilliant game, and I spent a lot of hours on it. It was one of them where people spend a lot of hours on like Breath of the Wild or like Elden Ring or Skyrim or whatever, and that was like my Skyrim back in the day. I spent a lot of time on it, and it was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to it. Who knows? It might have aged really terribly. I might start playing and think, oh my god, this is a pile of shit. I'm never gonna play this again. You never know. But I'm gonna start replaying it because that's brilliant. It's a great game. Like for £2.50 as well off Steam. I was like, oh, well, I'm gonna go back in time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's great. What is your number 2?
So again, it's one it has been mentioned so far. And it is Battlefront 2, but the 2017 version.
Ah, gotcha.
That was one of the first games I streamed on Twitch because at the time I was.
Yes.
Playing it so
I feel like I might remember that actually.
Because playing it quite a lot.
Yeah, because I remember you're one of my first Twitch friends back in the day. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was when we were on Ian Miles watching him like do Twitch and then like I think you gifted me a sub, and then like I checked out your Twitch, and I think I can't remember, you were either playing Battlefront or you were playing I think it was like a Avengers game.
Oh yeah, it might have been Avengers.
Go
on to that, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I since that came out, because I've obviously played the first one years before, and I just played that so much. It's again, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun on a multiplayer platform. But it also had a story campaign for this game.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, so that for me puts it above the one before. And it's a really good story as well. It's basically this character called Iden Versio, who's she's in the Galactic Empire. She's like a spy in it, or I can't quite remember, like some sort of commander. So you're looking at it to start with from the Empire side, and it's just really good campaign. I loved it.
Right. I thought it was I thought it was completely just multiplayer. That was it. Like I can't even remember there being a story, because maybe I just downloaded the multiplayer version of it. I can't remember if I paid for it or anything. I just remember playing multiplayer on it and just being like, nah, fuck this, I'm shit. But
it's a really good campaign.
Right.
I do highly recommend going back to playing it. And I think they released the DLC as well, like a year or so later, a few months later. So it added to the story even more. And again, it's like an original. It's much like the Jedi Survivor and Fallen Order series, is like original characters, but it's set in this universe where you do see characters that you already know and love, and it's just, I think it's really underrated.
Yeah.
I don't think most people haven't played it or don't know about it or just don't really rate Battlefront 2, but that's why it's number 2 for me.
Yeah. Unreal. I didn't even know that I had a campaign. Yet again, another Star Wars game I need to start playing to add to my Star Wars list. Great.
It's worth it. It's really worth it.
Yeah. Is it a long campaign, or is it quite short?
It's not that long, I don't think. I want to say 9 or 10 hours, maybe.
Oh, lovely.
I played this ages ago, so I can't quite remember.
I'm starting.
It's not that long.
I'm starting to love games with shorter campaigns now these days. It's like Stray. That was 5 hours, and I was like, oh my god, this was one of the best games I've ever played. Like, start playing it in the morning, and then I finished it by tea time or whatever. It's one of them. Like I don't. It's weird. like I don't mind games with a short story that I could just, you know, play bite-sized chunks. And I think I got to be in a mood to like do something like it's got like a long campaign, like I don't know, like a Zelda or whatever, or God of War. Like I have to set a lot of time aside for myself to do stuff like that. But I love me a short campaign. Yeah. If you know what I mean. I basically what I just said there is I like short games and sometimes I like long games. But yeah, that was weird. Yeah. Right. It's number one time now, and this is the bit where people say, "What have you picked that one for, idiot?" And even though we gave the film a little bit of a kicking earlier on, but it's the Phantom Menace, PS1. It is. It's my favourite. It is my absolute favourite.
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
But you streamed it.
Yeah, I streamed it because it is the best, and like obviously I had like nostalgia feeling from when I used to play it back in the day, like when it came out, and it's generally really good. It's really, really good. Like I get more enjoyment playing that game than I do watching the movie. Like it's just one of them. Like I wouldn't let people who think the Phantom Menace like thinks it's a shit movie or whatever. Like I'd still say play the game because it's brilliant. Like yeah, the graphics are a bit naff, and like some bits where you're like you'll be having like a conversation with like someone in Tatooine or whatever. Like you'd just be like trying to like buy a part of them. You get the part and then you kill them with like your lightsaber, and then everyone in the village will just start attacking you, and you just got to run away. I like that sort of. I love doing like you have time to like do dumb stuff within the game, like you would do in like GTA. Like sometimes you just like sod the story off and just start like just killing people left, right, and center. And the way people, I mean, it makes me sound weird now, but like the way people die in it is really funny. like they'll just like you'll strike them with the lightsaber and they just sort of slowly go, oh no. But yeah, it's brilliant. Like it's, you know, it's going off like the Phantom Menace movie, which like I get a big nostalgia kick for. But you know, the music's in there, the lasers are in there, I don't think it's the original voice actors. I don't think it is. I think it's someone else playing like I don't think Liam Neeson's in it.
Damn.
Yeah, it's just one of them. It's just like it's not even a guilty pleasure. I don't feel guilty about playing Phantom Menace. It's brilliant.
I don't.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's it's quite bad but good at the same time. If people turn around to me and say, "Oh no, Fallen Order's way better than Phantom Menace," I'm like, yeah, fair enough. You're probably right there, but I still like it more. Yeah.
Blame me on that. I remember you streaming it really well. I think that might have been one of the first games I remember you watching you stream, thinking about it.
It might have been, to be fair. Yeah, it was sort of. I think around about that time it was peak lockdown when I was streaming quite a lot more often than what I do now, because you know I was on furlough, and I think the majority of us were. Yeah, it was great. Like we'd just like pop into each other's stream and say hello, how's it going, and
like play games in the evening type thing.
Yeah, it was quality. It was quality. So it sounds bad to say like lockdown was quality, but it had its merits. Like, you know, getting into streaming is one of them. But you know,
it had a silver lining, and that is.
Yeah, definitely. Like, you know, like meeting people and stuff like that, and just sort of having that amount of time. Like, I mean, at that time, I had a really bad job, and like to have all that time off work, I was just like, this is brilliant. I'm never going to have 4 months off work ever again. I'm just going to live in the moment and just like play video games and meet new people. It was like that part of it was obviously really great. Everything else around it was just obviously I would never wish for that to happen ever again. Goddamn COVID. But yeah,
I've met the people that we know now and who are friends.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's that's one thing I'm thankful for sure. But yeah, my number one, Star Wars: A Phantom Menace. If people message me saying it's a stupid choice, fair enough. But that's what opinions are for. That's what opinions are for.
It's your choice.
Yeah, but yeah, but that's your number one as well, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Nah, I'm only joking.
My number one is, yeah, I've mentioned it quite a lot in this podcast, and it's Jedi Fallen Order.
Fair enough. Yeah.
To be fair, the top three for me were all very close. Like, I was sat there and being like, I can't really separate these at all. They're all great. I love them all for different reasons. But Fallen Order, like, going back to talking about lockdown, when lockdown first happened, because it hadn't long been released before that. I remember getting it for Christmas. I think I started it and then work got in the way, like real life got in the way, and I just didn't really go back to it. Then suddenly lockdown hit.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, right, I'm gonna sit and play this. And I would sit there for hours. I just got so gripped by the story and so gripped by the game, and you know, it's just a stunning game, and it was just so much fun to play. And yeah, like, it got me through the start of lockdown. It got me through that weird period at the start where you couldn't go out, you couldn't do anything apart from game and, you know, watch TV. And
yeah.
So it's just an amazing story, and I love CamChappers and all the characters they brought in. It's just,
yeah.
For me, that is my favourite Star Wars.
Yeah. No, that's absolutely fair enough as well. And like you were saying about the characters as well, they're all like very memorable as well. Like they're all got their own sort of unique sort of flair to them, and yeah, just talking about it makes me want to go back and play it.
Like the BD is.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, that's it is absolutely brilliant. You know what? I'm probably going to play it after this podcast. To be fair, I'm probably just going to have to. Yeah, I am. I mean, it's what was it? PS5 as well, or was it just PS4?
At the time, the PS5 hadn't been released, so it was.
Right.
On the Xbox, I had an Xbox. And at the time, I think. What's the latest Xbox?
It's the Series X, isn't it now? Isn't it? So.
Yeah, so I had an Xbox One.
Yeah.
I played it on that. I'm not sure if it has been released on PS5 since.
Yeah.
Probably has been, to be fair. They might have remastered it. But...
Yeah. I think, because I know, like, with some games, like, if you put like a PS4 title in, that is also can be played on PS5. Like, it just gives you like a free upgrade to play it on PS5. So hopefully you can do that. To be fair, but yes, yeah, I'm probably going to play it after this podcast is finished. See you later. Sign out now. Bye. But yeah, it is absolutely brilliant, as you were saying, and like its own story and all the characters and everything, and like it does look stunning. It does look absolutely brilliant to play on. But yeah, that's a good list. Do you want to recap your top 5 and so we all remember?
Jedi Fallen Order 2, Front 2, number 3 Jedi Survivor, number 4 Battlefront, and number 5 Episode 1.
Episode 1 Racer. Right, and for me, Phantom Menace number 1. Nothing's gonna beat that. Sorry, for me. And number 2, Knights of the Old Republic. 3, Fallen Order. Number 4, Rogue Leader, which is Rogue Squadron 2, and Battlefront 2 PSP edition. Yeah, there we go. That's our top 5 Star Wars video games. That's quality. I had a good time doing that. Have you got any plans for anything else? I know you're at some sort of. It looked like a Star Wars convention you were at quite recently. What was that about?
I was recently.
Yeah.
So I went to back in April. I went to Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah. Which
was so much fun. Like, it's basically, for anyone who is not aware, it's basically Comic-Con, but just for Star Wars. And the last few years it's been held in, I think, the States, in LA, and it came back to London this year. So it's like me and one of my friends we have to go.
No way.
Really good fun. Like, the only issue I have with it it was at XO in London, and I don't think it was just really, really busy. So either they kind of oversold it and it was too packed, like getting around anywhere or queuing for everything, it just took like so long. Or it was just you couldn't move around that easily.
Yeah.
Or they just didn't spread it out well enough. I'm not quite sure. But either way, it was a lot of fun. Like all the cosplays were amazing. We had all these stalls set up where people were selling like, figurines, Funko Pops.
Yeah.
You name it, basically. You could even get like a tattoo on if you wanted.
Oh, nice. Is that where you got your Hope one done, or was that a different time?
No, so I got that done actually the day after that one.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I had it done by my own artist, and I got a Mandalorian.
They're sick. Them like they're really, really cool tattoos. I like them. Yeah.
So yeah, and then the other thing I went to the other day was this exhibition which is completely fan run. It's called The Fans Strike Back, and it's basically all
cool.
like models and figures and stuff like that, which have been completely made by fans. And the level of detail on some of them, like the Millennium Falcon, they had this massive Millennium Falcon. And like, have you seen the Lego version of the Millennium Falcon?
Yeah. Not in real life, but I've seen photos of it.
No, they're quite big. They're probably,
Yeah.
I don't know. But this one was even bigger, and it was just the level of detail on each of like the panels on it was incredible. I was just like,
Crikey.
someone has made this. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually quite a lot there. Like, it was in. I don't think it's there for that much longer. I think it is. This is in London. This was South Kensington in London.
Right.
I think it might only be there for a limited time, but it was really good.
Ah, nice. Oh, cool. So, before we wrap this up, I'm sorry I didn't prepare you for this one.
Oh no.
But you might have a list in your mind anyways, because I know how much you love Star Wars. Could you rank me from worst to best all the mainline Star Wars movies?
Should I start with the worst?
Yeah, go with the worst. Yeah, let's go.
I think the worst. Probably Attack of the Clones.
Yep. I agree.
But then probably Phantom Menace.
Fair.
Just but I feel a bit bad saying that because of nostalgia, but never mind.
I know. You know what? I'd be the same if I was. I'd probably put it there as well. But like the child in me would be like, no, it's not. It's the best.
Oh god. Then I think I would say, probably Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
But very closely followed by Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I couldn't decide what would be better or worse out of them two. To be fair. Yeah. Yeah.
What else would be? Then I would probably say The Last Jedi.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Wait, how many are we through? Wait, hang on. Okay. Then I would put probably the first Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, A New Hope. You mean? Yeah.
Oh god. Then I would probably put The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Then Return of the Jedi. And then Empire Strikes Back. And then my number one is Rogue One.
Yeah. Fair.
That's nothing, like, apart from Empire Strikes Back, nothing's gonna top that for me, so...
Yeah. Fair play.
And if I had to put solo movie, I'd probably put that near Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. I thought Solo was okay. I thought it was fine. It was just one of them. It was just a daft little sides sort of movie thing. But yeah, there we go. I have.
Remember them all.
Yeah, I thought I'd throw that in it. Yeah, just be like, well, she already has one list, but has she got a movie list? There we go. But
yeah, very fun.
Awesome. But yeah, But yeah, we'll round this off now. I've hit you with the top 5 Star Wars video games, and I've just given you a task to rank your favorite Star Wars movies. Yeah, do you reckon you'll be Twitch streaming anytime soon? Have you thought about it, or are you just taking some time off of it?
I would really like to. It's just like I think, as we all know, when lockdown ended and you go back to work and life stuff, it sometimes gets in the way. And yeah, I do really want to go back streaming, so I hope soon.
Yeah.
Like, I have some games I need to finish.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I need to finish God of War and Resident Evil 4, so
Ooh.
yeah, I'm planning on coming back soon. I have quite enjoyed playing a few games off stream and just putting in a few solid hours.
Yeah.
I do miss it.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, we all miss you as well, the people who watch you, for sure. But no, we do, honestly. It's always good watching your streams. But I totally get what you say. Like, I mean, it's like, even for me, like it's getting to a point now for me streaming wise that I can only fit in like 2, if I'm lucky, 3 streams a month, if that. It's just, especially when it's summer and it's nice and sunny outside, like, you want to go outside and stuff like that and see family and friends and everything, and you got work, and sometimes you just want to like chill because when you are streaming, I don't know how you feel, but it kind of takes a lot out of you, doesn't it? Like, I don't know how you feel, like by the end of a stream I'm like, oh, well, there we go, that's that done. Like, not like a thank fuck that's over, more like a and relax, sort of like recharge, because you sort of, you're in a sense putting on like entertainment for people, aren't you? Like,
yeah, exactly. And it's like you're talking to people, if there's people in your stream, and you're talking for like a good couple hours or so, and yeah, it is. You're trying to be entertaining at the end of the day of your stream. You wanna be entertaining. You wanna have fun yourself, but you want other people to have fun. So yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I come home from work and I'm knackered, and I'm like, I can't.
That's it. That's absolutely it. Yeah. Yeah.
I totally get that. And honestly, hats off to anyone who still streams, fairly regularly and has a full-time job. I
know, yeah. There's people I know who have like, they start streaming in lockdown and like they've still got the same schedule as they have from lockdown. Like, how are you doing this? Hats off to you. it's insane. Yeah, but yeah, just in case you are going back to streaming, where can people find you on the old socials and that?
On Twitch, I'm at CamChappers. Same handle for Twitter. Same handle for Threads, which...
yes, Threads is the new thing. I've just started that as well. I haven't really posted anything on it though. Like,
I'm kind of going a bit more from Twitter to Threads.
Yeah.
Kind of sporadically on both. Yeah, that's another thing.
Yeah.
And same handle as well, CamChappers on Instagram.
Sound. Got any football matches lined up at all soon?
Really, to be honest, no. It's the off season, so.
Oh yeah, of course.
Enough time to sit and play games, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Apart from work, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To be fair, I'm that out of touch with football that I've just completely forgot about that. But like, yeah, if Brighton ever come up to Newcastle, we'll have to meet up, and there's an NQ64 in Newcastle as well. We could go there, have some bevs, watch the beautiful game, and yeah, have a good time. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much for coming on, CamChappers.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Really great catching up with you and everything, and talking lots of Star Wars things. So yeah, well, if you're more than welcome to come back on the podcast at some point as well. Again, yeah, and we'll talk about top 5. I don't know, Premiership goals or something. I don't know.
We'll think of something.
Yeah, top 5 Football Manager video games. Yeah. Yeah, top 5 FIFAs. Funny enough, they just keep getting better every year. But yeah. Anyways, enough waffle for me. See you later, everyone. Goodbye. And there you have it. That was the awesome Cam Chappers on the Mastercast, talking all things about Star Wars video games. What was your favourite? Do let me know in the... if you're watching it on YouTube, let us know in the comments. What's your favourite? Do you agree with our lists? Have you played any of the games that we talked about on this podcast? Or is there any that you'd actually recommend to us? There we go. There's that XLR going again. Can you hear it? Can you hear it? There it is. Bastard. But yeah, that was... we had a great chat. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. And yeah, do let us know what your favourite Star Wars game is on the old YouTube. And you can actually answer questions on Spotify as well if you listen on here. So yeah, bit of an update about that as well. It's now available on all streaming platforms, like whatever you stream your podcast from. It's available on Apple, it's available on Spotify and Amazon, and on YouTube as well if you want to listen on there. So yeah, it's that's about it really. Don't forget to follow on the Spotify and on Apple or anything like that, or like keep on subscribe on YouTube. I'm gonna be live on Twitch on the 20th. That's the next time I'm gonna be live, which is on, I believe, is that a Thursday? I think it's a it's a Thursday. I'm gonna be streaming Final Fantasy 7. And it'll be a long one. I'm gonna be streaming from about 5 o'clock onwards. So yeah, we get a bunch of Disc 2 done. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. I'll be back again next Friday. Don't know what I'm gonna be chatting about, but it'll be a laugh, won't it? So yeah, thanks again for listening. Much